Today, on this 10th episode of Unboxing Old Stuff, we're going to unbox the Magnavox Odyssey. Hello, and welcome back to the Geek Cabal channel. My name is Jim.
I'm Bob.
And today, to celebrate the 304 subscribers, depending on how things go, I mean, things vary.
We're over 300 at this point.
Correct. And obviously, if you're watching this in the future, we're going to be hopefully. We're going to, do our special 10th unboxing that I've talked about since, episode 1, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that is the Magnavox Odyssey. Now, I mentioned that this has some special importance in the gaming world, and that's kind of why I wanted to, make it for the 10th one. And since I kind of do the video game side of things, and the role that this thing played, I mean, it was released originally in 1972 and is considered the first commercial home video game console.
Jim, if I may, I do have one quick question. I hate to break you up there. Is there a non-commercial home video game console before this?
Pong.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they make Pong.
So it's just the one game and a controller for the...
Yes,
okay.
But no, this is the first actual in-home console that you could buy.
Gotcha.
Now, when we get into it, you'll actually see kind of where it kind of totes the line of not being a game console at the same time, because there aren't actually games with it. They're programmable cartridges.
Okay.
So they're not actually named anything, but we'll get into that later. So in 1972, the original retail price for this in the US was $99.95. Based off of inflation, and that's roughly about $700 today.
It's a bit of an increase.
In its first year, it sold 69,000 units, and in its lifetime, 350,000 units. Now, I do not know how long it was on the market for, but honestly, for the very first home console, that's pretty impressive numbers. Now, obviously, nowadays, unless you're breaking well over 1 million, you're still considered a commercial flop. But as the very first, that's pretty dang good, especially when you hear the factoids about what this thing can do or can't do in most instances. So as far as graphics, you've got 3 dots that can be on screen at one time and one line of varying height. No sound, so you have to use your imagination on the sound. And there is no source of actually tracking score either. So there's no number tracking, anything like that. It's just display the 3 dots, display the line. Besides that, and as far as improving the graphics, so if you look on the box here, you'll see that there are some images here, and we'll get some close-ups of these as well. These are not images of the games themselves. That is what they would call a screen overlay. So the idea is that the old televisions of the past used to have a static charge to them. And what you could do is you could put this film over top of your TV, which would be a little plastic film, and we'll show you a few of those. And the static would hold it to the TV, and that would be your graphics. And as far as scorekeeping goes in here, there's some different items in here that was used for scorekeeping. Now, most of it, from what I remember, has actually not been opened. So, we're going to kind of do what we normally do. We'll just kind of look at the box here. Now, I'm going to cover myself up because this is a big box, but you can see on the front here, you've got some screenshots on the side. And if you didn't know, it's an Odyssey.
Jim, I hate to interrupt, but I have another question. Would you say you like big boxes and you cannot lie?
Well, your other brothers can't deny, so.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yep. So, on the sides here, they actually do have, actual screen grabs of, images of what they would consider the graphics. Again, when we get into it, all this is pretty much a lie because there are none. Pawn. Yes.
So was there ever a back, or is this actually how it came?
Well, I'm getting to it.
Okay, sorry.
I'm getting to it.
I apologize.
So that is a question. I don't know if this actually had a bottom to it or not. Right now, it's just the styrofoam on the bottom. But again, like I said, with all the screenshots here, it's kind of hard to see on camera. We'll get some close-ups of these. But here you can see the children of the 70s enjoying playing with three dots and possibly a line.
Now, notice this is different from the whole family huddled in front of the TV for the Nintendo.
Yes. Well, no, because this is all new. I mean, you gotta understand, like, everything on this, I mean, there's blurbs on it, there's different things. This was all, first time trying
Yeah,
this
no,
stuff.
I get it. This is like whenever, probably similar to whenever like VHS and Betamax came out, and
Yeah.
people actually had the option of watching movies at home, not on TV.
Yeah.
So,
But and unfortunately, like I said, we're not going to actually show any game footage of this. If you want to, there's plenty of videos out there right now. Maybe eventually I'll actually hook this up and we can play it, but not much to look at. Like I said, dots and lines. That's all you get. And everything else you see, you'll actually get to see when we open this up. So I'm going to try, again, not to squeak this on camera too much with the styrofoam. So as I said, this is just a cardboard sleeve. And there may have been one that went on the bottom. I do not know. I did not look that up. But the one I bought did not come with it. Now, I got a heck of a deal at this. I bought this at Game World up in Bloomington for about $180.
Hmm.
Complete. And the way that you're going to see it here, this is how it came.
do you
So,
remember about how long ago you got it?
it's probably been, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. It's not been too long, honestly. So, you can see there was some custom stuff here somebody done where they had like a sheet of paper taped over the contents here. So just some of the stuff that it came with. So one of the things it came with, poker chips. So this was for some of the games. This is again how they would keep score, how you would do things like if you're playing roulette. This would be one of the ways that you could actually keep track of score or actually gamble on it. Now, when I say roulette, that is just somebody spinning the thing and seeing where the dot lands. And most of the time, the dot would land not on the board. And then you'd have to try to assume where it actually was. So some of the other stuff it has is you've got some playing cards here that actually tell you things like kickoff.
I was gonna say I laugh at that whole about Jim's description just now, but I imagine back in the '70s, people thought this was like the greatest thing ever.
So it looks like this says kickoff. And the other side says 50. I don't know if that's like a 50-yard kickoff.
Check one of the check a something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, this is kickoff as well. 43 yards. So what I assume that this is supposed to indicate is that playing a version of football, this would tell you what you did and where you ended up on the play itself. So like say here, this is run. I guess this is a play and you run it. I have no idea how, but somehow there's a way of playing football with three dots and a line. And we'll get some of these cards so you can actually see them when we do our close up. You know something's been in a box for a while when the rubber band just disintegrates.
Yeah.
So this, I believe, some of these cards are actually to try to find something with one of the screen overlays, and this is haunted house. So like here, it says to find a cat, and like here it says to find a bat. Oh, my favorite, to find some poison. So yes, you've got some stuff for the haunted house. And then you've got find the knee. Find the ankle. Sorry, it says knee on the back side, ankle on this side. Find the elbow. Find the pet's ear. So again, these will make a little bit more sense once we get into the overlays.
Hopefully.
Oh, they will. Oh my gosh, look at this. Remember the portrait by the stairs? Through the trap door, you have fallen there. Secret message. I have no idea. So the idea is with a lot of these cards is that they are used to go with the screen overlays to identify different things like what you're supposed to try to find, what you're supposed to do. Because again, no programming on this. It's just dots and a line. So this happens to be a stack of United States facts trivia cards. So you would be asked to find Massachusetts on the map, and then you would be asked questions about like Massachusetts capital is easy to get lost in. Massachusetts capital is, and then fun stuff. Oh, this is where the cards are supposed to go, I assume. Or oh, I know it's supposed to go there. That's where the cartridges are supposed to go. They're down in here. So we'll go over to the cartridges first, because then I'll get these overlays out. So when I was talking about stellar titles, we've got the game 1. Game 5. Sorry, I hit the mic there. Game 3. I think I am maybe missing some of these. Game 6, I assume.
I was beginning to wonder if we had any even numbered ones.
Game 2 and Game 4. Now, I do mention that these aren't technically games. What they are is that it programs the behavior of the dots in the line. And then, so each one of them here, each one of these cartridges would go with a corresponding screen overlay, and there would be instructions on what you need to do. Look at that. There's a dice in there. Die. Singular die.
You don't get those with many modern systems.
Yeah, no. So, try to go over as much of this as I can. So, all right. So we'll get the unimportant stuff here. So this is a notice. Let's see here. Your Odyssey Master Control Unit has been calibrated at our factory to the highest standards that will give you years of carefree operation. Since all brands of television receivers do vary in their performance characteristics, you may find it necessary to adjust the horizontal hold. My gosh. So this is talking about with the old school TVs being able to actually have to set your TV so everything fits on screen. It doesn't scroll, doesn't do all that weird stuff. Things that kids these days have no clue about dealing with. I know I'm old. People need to get off my lawn.
The grass got off the lawn.
Yeah. What's on there now?
Oh, I didn't notice.
Oh, I like this. Thank you for purchasing Odyssey. We hope it will bring you and your family many hours of pleasure. That's probably all you're going to get out of it. Odyssey is a product of the Magnavox company, famous for its fine furniture, styling, and its complete line of other home entertainment products, color and black and white television, stereo consoles, and component radios and tape recorders. We invite yourself to visit your Magnavox dealer and discover for yourself what a difference owning a Magnavox.
Could you imagine if the Nintendo had something like that? It's like a Nintendo, known for its trading cards and gambling machines. I mean, home entertainment system.
Oh, here we go. How to get service on your Odyssey system after the first 3 months use period.
So is it saying it has a warranty for 3 months? Or is it saying after 3 months you're going to have to recalibrate or something?
Out of warranty service can be obtained by returning your game system to Magnavox under the following arrangements. Pack it into the... Oh my god. I think I'm a little out of the 3 month.
Well, we're past the 3 month grace period. So...
But like I said, we'll get some close-up of all this stuff. Oh, so for the Find the State game, you've got your map here, so you can study. Even says study map. All right. Oh, we got another. Look at that. A total play and learning experience for all ages.
Well,
yeah. Nice. Yes, you know you're in for something special when you see the old console TV on there. So I like it though. I mean, it's hand drawn. Okay, so it tells you here to play for football. Oh my gosh, to play football, you have to use pass or game card number 3 for passing and kicking plays, and game card 4 for running plays. So you actually have to take the game cartridge out,
wow,
and flip it around to be able to play the different games. So what the manual is actually important for is it gives you the rules for the game, so you know how to play. So this is more like a board game than it is a video game. And then the instructions on how to play the game and what cartridges to use with said game. So pretty cool. We'll get some.
So they had to figure out 6 sets of instructions that would cover every game that they put in there, essentially.
Pretty much.
So that's what it's saying is you put the Kling on the TV, and then put one of these in, the dot does what that tells it to do, and that's the game.
from what I know, the dot doesn't actually move on its own. Like there's some that I'm sure it does, but the controllers, like I know there's at least a few games where, as the first player, you can control where the ball goes, so you can kind of cheat on it. So this was obviously for some gambling, and then on the back side is for the football. All right, I got some. Looks like some papers. Oh my gosh, that is awesome! Like half of the stuff hasn't even been used. So these are some stickers for the cat and mouse game. So there's something that you have to do to build these up to for the cat and mouse game. I have no clue. Look at that. Still on the pad stickers.
This is for roulette.
Yeah.
But well, no, they're not in green. The 000. That's what I was looking for. So this is a little gambling diversion for you folks that don't know. This is based on an American wheel. The European wheel only has the 0. It doesn't have the 00. The European wheel odds are slightly more in your favor. If you just, for those of you out there who have an interest in gambling and find yourself where you have the option to use a European wheel, you'd rather use a European.
So I was talking about the states game. Here is the answers to all the questions. So interesting.
Isn't that the answer to all the questions?
No, that's the study map for where all the states are at. That one's like asking like the okay. This hasn't even been folded out. This is supposed to be folded and tucked into the different slots, but this is so you can say how many downs, how many quarters, and how many plays you've done for the football. And I'm assuming this is maybe dry erase or something. I don't know. So we'll get some
single use.
So this is the.
There you go. That's the wheel.
So what I believe I have in there here is I think each one of these has two versions. One for different size television. So
that makes sense.
So like you would have like a 19-inch television, and then maybe a 20, I think 27-inch. I think this is the 19-inch. So these are the static cleans that you would put on your TV. And the idea is that the light would shine behind these so you could play the game. So like if you're playing the States and they said, where is Indiana? Well, you would have to shine the light behind where Indiana's at. I could imagine that.
Yeah, the East Coast might be.
East Coast might be a little tough, but so there's the United States. This is going to take us a while to get all these photographed later. This is find the body part. This is a sub maze. It actually goes this way. So the idea is that one player plays a submarine, the other ones play the fleet, and the submarine has to make it through the maze. And you either end up where you can sink, I guess, the enemy fleet, or you can exit the map. So
make sure you don't wind up in the drink.
Analogic is what this one looks like it's called. Just a graph and numbers. I have to look at what the rules actually say on that one, but that's just, again, all these are meant to be on the TV and the light shine behind it. Probably the best version of hockey ever. That's a joke. But
I wonder if there was many fights with that one.
Yes. Then home fighting.
Well, yeah.
So this one here is for to go skiing. Oh, their static cleans are not cleaning together. Cat and mouse. What really inspired all of this, tennis on.
Yeah.
And there is the roulette. So this one will be kind of hard to see. I may have to get a light put behind it, but this is the haunted house. Definitely does show better on this side versus the other side. And then, like I said, the other ones in here are just larger versions for a different size television. Kind of funny to think that they only accounted for two different sizes of televisions, and when you think about nowadays, um, the amount of TVs that. Apologize if I make noise here. I'm going to get these moved out of the way because I'm not going to go through and show you the both versions of both sizes there. Because I think people want to get in and actually see what this console looks like and what everything looks like here. So, hey, there's the other die.
Hey.
So there are dice. So, just start from in so you can see that somebody had put some papers on here to hold stuff in, which is not a bad idea. So you've got the box so you can hook it up to the TV here. I'm surprised. Luckily, I didn't leave these batteries hooked up because they would probably be bad. So this thing does not have its own power supply. It runs on 6C batteries, but it did come with an optional power supply. So you could get that if you wanted it. So, can I get any of these controllers out without having to get the console out? All right. So the controllers, the cord goes under the console, but you can see here you've got two dials on both sides, and there's actually a third dial in the middle. So you've got 1, 2, 3 dials, and on the top it says English, horizontal, vertical, and reset. You got a reset button on each controller. So I guess if you're getting really pissed at the other person, you can just hit reset anytime you want. Very yellowed in some places, so like half the controller is yellow, half of it's white. So I'm not sure what happened there, but
the other one looks that way. That might be somewhat intentional,
and it may be. And then this plugs into the console, so you've got a plug in there. The other thing that's actually
Monopoly money.
I believe. Well, we'll see. So this is the video cable that plugs into the box here. So this is just the cable. One goes in here, one goes into the console. And so, looking at the console here, you've got two ports on either side for the controllers. Is this one? That's where the power supply goes if you do have a power supply. The heck? All right, so I have to look at this. I was looking at it upside down. Actually, that says ACC. This must be an accessory because one of the accessories you can get for it is a light gun. Which I don't know how a light gun would work with a game that barely functions as a console, but so you've got a center, speed, accessories, 2 controller ports, and the video cord, and then on the back is where the actually external power goes. So I apologize on that one. I got that one wrong. And then the cartridges. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in and not break it. Go right here in the front, and then I guess you can set stuff up here on the top, like your drinks, your beer, whatever. And then the batteries go on the compartment down below.
I don't know if that's that drinks on that.
I don't know. Let's see if it's got a manufacturing number on it. It's got a serial number. Now that's obviously way more units than they actually sold. So unfortunately, can't tell you where mine falls in the line of things here. But also on the bottom there is a horizontal adjust. So I guess if your TV doesn't have it, you can adjust it right here on the console too. But heck, I got my serial number. I'm set. I can get that warranty. So the last thing that's in here is money. And no, it's not Monopoly money. This is roulette money here.
I say it's close enough. I think it's the same color scheme.
Yeah, so and I'm not going to undo this because this has been together since who knows how long.
That might turn to dust in the wind if you're going to do that.
So I'm going to leave that like it is, but we're going to get pictures of everything here, and I think we're just going to take us a couple of passes to get all of that. But even though, I mean, obviously to today's standards, this is very archaic in every possible way. But you really think about it, I mean, everything that we have today, the PS5, the Xbox, all of that stuff, it all started here. Now, obviously, the Atari, tried to crash the entire market without their quality control. And most people don't go back and go, well, this game sucked ass, because you know it was the very first attempt. It was the very first thing, and for what it did, I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure kids got enjoyment out of it. People, but uh,
Yeah, I'm sure there was definitely a novelty to it. I'm sure there was, with nothing else like it out there at the time.
and as far as a follow up, Magnavox did release the Odyssey 2, which I will be doing a restoration video on, because it's been sitting in my garage for like 15 years. Um, long
But
enough.
that's only a small portion of its overall lifespan.
I know, because it came out also in the 70s. But it is by leaps and bounds far superior to this. And yeah, I've got some accessories actually for that one, and a lot of games for it. I say a lot. I've got like, I don't know, 15, 20 games. So way more than the 6 that I have for this. Doing some research, it said it had a library of 12 on its release, so it is definitely possible that I'm missing some. But looking at the with the styrofoam on top, it looks like it only has enough to really fit what I have here. So
Well, there might have been others you had to buy separate.
who knows? So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get a up close shot of all this stuff, and then we'll meet you back here once we're done.
Before we do that, though, folks, just want to say thanks again for all of you who helped us get over the 300 subscriber mark. Kind of circled there for a bit, and finally got the real push and seem to be moving forward again. So those who've been with us from the beginning, and those of you newcomers, thank you all for your help in that. And on that note, if you haven't already and you enjoyed what you see here, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But yeah, Jim said, now we're gonna get the close-ups, and we'll come back and we'll see you folks in a minute.
All right. Well, that was a fun time trying to get all this stuff laid out and and pictured with all of the overlays and stuff. To you folks, it may look like nothing moved here, and that's just the magic of editing that gets all that stuff to happen. Um, but
I'm the one in charge of that, by the way, just so you guys know.
well, I'm in charge of being charming, and
I didn't claim I was doing anything else. I just said I did the editing, Jim.
and we thank him for that because I mean, obviously, I have no talent in that area. I do have the talent of a lovely talking voice. Unfortunately, I can't always speak properly at times. The takes on trying to say Magnavox in the beginning, that was wonderful. Uh, but you know, I'm pretty sure we're going to get some comments on this that people are going to be like, "We want you to play this." The problem is that we actually we probably could because we're going to have to record the TV screen because obviously we're going to have to somehow stick one of these to. I don't know. I got a 55-inch television there. I've got a 32-inch, I think, in there that I use for my gaming setup. That would probably be all right because it's an old CRT.
I was going to say, do we even know if this would work on a current TV?
Yes, I've actually hooked it up to.
Okay.
It doesn't work well.
Yeah, I didn't know if you ran into some kind of bizarre problem like with the light gun for the Nintendo. I know it's a different principle, but I didn't know if it was
Well,
a potential similar.
the problem is that this is like the signal is like a digital TV is not really good at taking the signal. But like I said, I've got a CRT in there that we can hook this up to. If we get enough interest that people actually want to see us try to play this thing, I say that in quotes because I don't know what. I just remember before it's just like because I mean I grew up with the ColecoVision as my first console, and the ColecoVision is by leaps and bounds more technical than this, and it only came out I don't know what 10 years later, and it's just I mean I guess in 10 years that's a considerable amount of time, but anyways, I mean that's really all that I got on here, and I want to definitely thank all of you for watching the 10 episodes of this. Now I'm just gonna try to find if I can find my 11th episode. I know I've got stuff. I've got stuff to unbox. I just got to figure out what's the next
Jim,
interesting topic.
if nothing else, we'll go hit the flea markets. We'll find something.
Well, I've done that too, so you'll have to watch our podcast for those updates as well. So, anyways, this has been another episode of Unboxing Old Stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.